University Challenge. Asking the questions, Jeremy Paxman.
Hello, Cambridge derby tonight as two venerable colleges compete against each other for a place in the second round. The winners go through automatically. The losers could qualify to play again if their score warrants it. So the key to success is for both teams to plough through as many questions as they can. In other words, get on with it. Now, King's College, Cambridge was founded by Henry VI in 1441, although the distractions of the Wars of the Roses and his own deposition rather halted progress, which resumed under Henry VII and the VIII. Its architecture is world-famous, boasting perhaps the greatest example of fan vaulting in Christendom, and its alumni include Sir Robert Walpole, John Maynard Keynes, Alan Turing, Rupert Brooke and E.M. Forster, who spent the best part of his life there. Among more recent graduates are the novelist Zadie Smith, the model and actress Lily Cole, and the comedian David Baddiel. There's a suggestion from one team member that for those who can't catch a ball or play the guitar, appearing on this competition may be a good way of attracting the attention of members of the opposite sex. Good luck with that one, matey. With an average age of 19 and representing around 700 students, let's meet the King's team.
Hello, I'm Kevin. I'm from the US and I do maths.
Hi, I'm Alessandro Mariani. I'm from Italy and I'm studying mathematics.
And this is their captain.
Hello, I'm Jack. I'm from Nova Scotia in Canada and I study human, social and political sciences.
Hi, I'm Carmel. I'm from Kingston upon Thames in London and I study history.
Now, teams from Sidney, Sussex College, Cambridge have been series champions twice in the past, albeit in the 1970s. The second of those teams returned in 2002 to win our special series to find the best team of the first 40 years of this competition. So tonight's quartet have a little bit to live up to. The college was founded in 1596 by Lady Frances Sidney, Countess of Sussex and aunt of the poet Sir Philip Sidney. Oliver Cromwell was among its earliest students, and his head is reputed to have been buried beneath the college's antechapel after it had been retrieved from a spike outside Westminster Hall. Alumni who've avoided that fate, so far anyway, include the TV presenter Carol Vorderman, the journalist Andrew Rawnsley and the politician David Owen. The team tell us they're here because it'll be something to put on their CVs, but only if they win, presumably, and because one of their friends failed to get on bargain hunt. Also with an average age of 20 and representing around 500 students, let's meet the Sidney Sussex team.
Hi, I'm Nicholas Bennett. I'm from London and I'm reading mathematics.
Hi, I'm Ellie Thompson. I'm from Nottingham and I study physics.
And this is their captain.
Hi, I'm Thomas Hitchcock. I'm from Ashford in Kent and I'm reading natural sciences.
Hi, I'm Dan Wilson. I'm from Buckinghamshire and I'm reading German and Russian.
Well, the rules are unchanging. 10 points for starters, 15 for bonuses. Fingers on the buzzers. Here's your first starter for 10. The Roman poet Ovid refers to which mythological beast as semi-bovem quae virum, semi-virum quae bovem? It was imprisoned in a labyrinth constructed by Daedalus.
Minotaur. Sidney Sussex Bennett.
The Minotaur is correct, yes. So, Sidney Sussex, you get the first set of bonuses. They're on centenaries in 2015. Firstly, a proponent of the steady-state theory, which British astronomer, born 1915, is credited with coining the phrase Big Bang, although he rejected the theory as unsatisfactory.
Oh, where is it? It's
Yeah, is it? No, it's not like Nicholson and Morley. I the experiments. No.
It's just pass.
It's Sir Fred Hoyle. In July 1915, the United States began an occupation of which Caribbean country when US Marines landed at Port-au-Prince? The occupation lasted until 1934.
Haiti?
Correct. 2015 is the centenary of the first British branch of which organisation, founded in Canada in 1897. Its homepage says, "We make great cookies, but we also use them to give you the best experience on our site."
The Women's Institute?
Correct. 10 points for this starter question now. Which two words link the railway line that runs from Shrewsbury to Swansea via Knighton, the football club whose home ground is Tynecastle Stadium, and a novella of 1902 by Joseph Conrad, set largely in Africa?
King Smith.
Heart.
No, I'm afraid you lose 5 points. Set largely in Africa.
Sydney,
of
Sussex,
Darkness.
Hitchcock.
No, it's heart of. I asked for 2 words. I'm sorry. Anyway, 10 points for this starter question. Our current royal family doesn't have the difficulties in breeding that pandas do, but pandas and royal persons alike are expensive to conserve and ill-adapted to any modern environment. Which novelist made those comments in 2013 in a lecture entitled Royal Bodies?
Sydney, Sussex, Hitchcock.
Will Self.
No, anyone like to buzz from Kings?
King Sharp.
Martin Amis.
No, it's Hilary Mantel. 10 points for this. In terms of internet codes and element symbols, if Austria is astatine and Sweden is selenium, what's Portugal?
Sydney, Sussex, Wilson.
Platinum.
Correct. Your bonuses are on mythical creatures, Sidney, Sussex. Supposedly a horned jackrabbit, what animal has been proposed by the state of Wyoming as its official mythical creature?
Nominate Bennett.
Jackalope.
Correct. Also known as the goat sucker, which supposedly vicious animal is associated with reports of sheep drained of blood in Puerto Rico and Mexico in the 1990s.
Nominate Wilson.
Chupacabra.
Correct. Finally, shot in California's Six Rivers National Park, the 1967 Patterson-Gimlin film claims to show which mythical biped?
Bigfoot.
Bigfoot or the Sasquatch, yes. 10 points for this. Denoting accounts of the lives of Christian saints intended to edify the reader, what word is now often used in a pejorative sense to indicate...
Hagiography.
Hagiography is correct, yes. These bonuses, Kings, are on biochemistry. Which group of lipids are malleable at ambient temperature, insoluble in water, and form protective waterproof layers for plants and animals? An example is carnauba.
Adipose.
No, they're waxes. Secondly, consisting mainly of cetyl palmitate, which wax occurs in the cavities of the head of the whale species Physeter macrocephalus?
Sperm.
No, it's spermaceti wax. And finally, a forerunner of which SI base unit was based on the intensity of light produced by burning spermaceti under defined conditions?
No, it's now.
Nominate Lynn.
What? I don't know.
Do you want to nominate somebody else or have a go
I
yourself?
nominate Mariani.
The Candela.
Correct! Right, we're going to take a picture round now. For your picture starter, you'll see a map of part of the UK with 3 major rivers marked, all of which share a name. 10 points if you can tell me what that name is.
Sydney, Sussex, Bennett.
Ouse.
Yes, it's usually pronounced ooze, but you're correct. Right, you get picture bonuses, 3 more sets of British rivers that share a name. In each case, simply give me the name that links all the marked rivers. Firstly, for 5 points.
Any idea? Is it not any Scottish rivers? Scotland. Lee, is that maybe? Okay, the Lee.
No, that's the D, the Aberdeenshire D and the Welsh D. Secondly,
Yeah, no idea.
come on.
Okay. Tees.
No, those are all called Derwent. And finally,
Avon.
those are all the River Avon. Yes, 10 points for this. Imagine a simple chain of 3 meshing gears. The first gear has 32 teeth, the second has 64 teeth, and the third 128 teeth. How many times must the first gear be rotated to turn the third gear twice in the same direction?
Sidney, Sussex, Bennett.
8.
Correct. Right, your bonuses, Sidney, Sussex, are on archaeological sites. In each case, name the African country in which the following are located. Firstly, Sufetula, Carthage, and the Colosseum of El Jem.
Tunisia.
Correct. Secondly, Axum, Tarka, Mariam, and Hadar.
Ethiopia.
Correct. And finally, in which North African country are Abydos, Darshur, and Saqqara?
Egypt or Sudan? Go for Egypt. Okay. Egypt.
Correct. 10 points for this. Which decade saw Richard Whittington become Lord Mayor of London for the first time and Geoffrey Chaucer's appointment as Deputy Forester of North Petherton in Somerset? Other events include the completion of the Wilton diptych and the deposition of Richard II by Henry Bolingbroke.
King Smith.
The 1360s.
Anyone like to buzz in Sidney, Sussex?
Sidney, Sussex, Wilson.
1390s.
1390s is correct, yes. Right, you get a set of bonuses, this time Sidney, Sussex, on space exploration in 1965. Firstly, the first manned mission of which NASA space programme lifted off in 1965. The programme in question followed Mercury and preceded Apollo.
Mercury, Apollo. Anything? Do you think vaguely?
Come on.
Discovery.
No, they were Gemini missions. In March 1965, which Soviet cosmonaut made the first spacewalk when he spent 12 minutes outside the capsule Voskhod 2?
Who's the first in space? So
It's not
You don't think it's not
Gagarin,
Gagarin?
no. He was just in a little pod.
do we have any other of Soviet cosmonauts? Should we just go for that?
You should say it anyway.
Yeah. Okay. Yuri Gagarin.
No, it wasn't. It was Alexei Leonov. And finally, in July 1965, Mariner 4 took the first close-up photographs of the surface of which planet?
Which direction should this go? Mars. What do you think?
Yeah, go for Mars.
Mars.
Correct. 10 points for this. Listen carefully. In physics, the equation for calculating the impulse of a force can be derived from Newton's second law of motion. In what SI-derived unit is an impulse expressed?
Kings Mariani.
Kilogram times meter divided by second.
Yes, kilogram metre per second. So you get a set of bonuses. Kings, they're on an artist. Firstly, for 5 points, born in northern France in 1684, which painter is most associated with the fête gallant style in which well-dressed young people are depicted in idealised pastoral settings?
Minier.
No, it's Watteau. Secondly, in 1717, Watteau became a full member of the French Academy with a work portraying the embarkation for which island? In classical myth, it's regarded as the birthplace of Aphrodite or Venus.
Cyprus.
No, it's Kythera. And finally, practised by artists such as Watteau, Saint-Géry is a form of Rococo decoration featuring what animals in human costume playing human roles?
Birds.
No, they're monkeys, Singe. Right, 10 points for this. Of which event of 1819 did Mary Shelley write, "It roused in my husband violent emotions of indignation and..."
King Sharp.
The eruption of Krakatoa.
I'm afraid you lose 5 points. It aroused in my husband violent emotions of indignation and compassion. Inspired by these feelings, he wrote The Mask of Anarchy. None of you know Sidney, Sussex?
Sidney, Sussex, Hitchcock.
French Revolution.
No, it was the Peterloo Massacre. Right, 10 points for this. In 2014, what name was assigned to the previously undetected flaw that exists in a piece of open-source software? Described as catastrophic by one security expert, it enables hackers to steal personal...
Kings Mariani.
Heartblade.
Yes. These bonuses, King's Cambridge, are on East Asian history. Born in 1130, Master Zhu was a key figure in a system of thought known in the West by what hyphenated name after a long influential philosophy? It is described often as a response to the ideas of Taoism and Buddhism.
No.
Don't know.
It was Neo-Confucianism. Neo-Confucianism was the state ideology of the Chosun dynasty of Korea, founded soon after the start of the Ming dynasty in China. In which century was that?
The 15th?
No, it was the 14th. Neo-Confucianism flourished under official patronage during which period of Japanese history, beginning in 1603? You may give either of its two names, one after its founder, the other after its de facto capital.
Edo.
Correct, or Tokugawa. Right, we're going to take a music round now. For your music starter, you'll hear an excerpt from a 20th century opera. For 10 points, please identify the composer.
King's Lynn.
Is it John Adams?
Anyone like to buzz from Sidney, Sussex? You can hear a little more.
Sidney, Sussex, Thompson.
Britain.
No, that was Philip Glass's Akhenaten. So we're going to take music bonuses in a moment or two. In the meantime, fingers on the buzzers. Here's another starter question. The graphic linear equivalent of the sensation of flight is how which artist described paper cuts he created in the mid-20th century when...
King Smith.
Miro.
No, I'm afraid you lose 5 points when ill health prevented him from painting.
Sidney, Sussex, Hitchcock.
Matisse.
Matisse is correct, yes. So you get the music bonuses. There are 3 more excerpts from operas that, like Philip Glass's Akhenaten that we just heard, are set in Egypt. 5 points for each composer you can identify. Firstly...
Mary of Egypt.
No, I was looking for the composer, but it's Handel. It's from his Julius Caesar in Egypt. Secondly... Come on.
Okay, nominate Thompson.
Massenet.
Massenet is correct. It's from Tace. And finally...
Verdi.
It is indeed, of course, it's from Aida. 10 points for this. One of the very few contemporary economists eager to revive the old-fashioned spirit of political economy. Those words appear in a review of Capital in the 21st century.
Sidney, Sussex, Hitchcock.
Thomas Piketty.
Thomas Piketty is correct, yes. Right, these bonuses are on Tilda Swinton, Sidney, Sussex. Tilda Swinton played the mother of the title character in which film of 2011, based on a novel by Lionel Shriver?
We need to talk about Kevin.
Correct. Playing the part of Lena, Swinton's first of many collaborations with Derek Jarman was a 1986 film about which Italian painter? His work, Boy with a Basket of Fruit, was imitated for the poster.
Caravaggio.
Correct. In Love is the Devil, Swinton played Muriel Belcher, the owner of the Colony Room Club in Soho. The film centred on which painter who was a frequent visitor to the club?
Okay, Francis Bacon.
Correct. 10 points for this. In 1788, which Italian was appointed Austrian Imperial Court composer and music director? He was later fictionalised.
King Shah.
Salieri.
Correct. These bonuses, Kings, are on chemical elements with the atomic number 45. Which element is one of the rarest non-radioactive metals and is used as a hardener for platinum and palladium, for example, in catalytic converters?
Titanium?
No, it's rhodium. Chiefly obtained from natural brine deposits, which element has the atomic number 35? Its compounds are used as pesticides, flame retardants and as a sedative.
Phosphorus. Is it? I say it's phosphorus because pesticides are phosphorus.
Are you sure?
I think so. Is that okay?
Phosphorus?
No, it's bromine. And finally, which silvery metal has the atomic number 25? Essential to plant growth, it's alloyed with steel to impart a hard yet pliant quality.
Potassium, that can be key. Try that.
Potassium?
No, it's manganese. We're going to take a picture round now. For your picture starter, you'll see a still from a film. For 10 points, please name the film.
King
Blade
Shah.
Runner.
Blade Runner is correct, yes. That was set in 2019. It was the prediction of how Los Angeles will look 4 years from now, therefore. Your picture bonuses are 3 more visions of cities in the future. In each case, simply identify the film in which each cityscape appears. Firstly, for 5.
The Minority Report?
No, that's The Fifth Element by Luc Besson, a vision of New York City in the 23rd century. Secondly...
Idiocracy.
Idiocracy?
No, that's Logan's Run. And finally, you may give me either here the specific film from which this still is taken or the franchise of which it's a part.
Star Wars to me. It's not Star Wars. But it's not Star Wars, it's cities in the future. Go for Alien franchise.
Alien franchise?
No, it's The Matrix. 10 points for this. Which major city links Mozart's Symphony No. 31, Haydn's symphonies from No. 82 to 87, and an orchestral piece of 1928 by George Gershwin?
Sidney, Sussex, Thompson.
Paris.
Paris is right, yes. Sidney, Sussex, these bonuses are on events since 2001. In each case, give the year that saw all of the following. Firstly, President Akayev flees Kyrgyzstan after the first Tulip Revolution. Angela Merkel becomes Germany's first female chancellor, and Joseph Ratzinger is elected Pope.
2005.
Correct. Secondly, Kosovo formally declares independence from Serbia. Fidel Castro resigns as president of Cuba, and the Icelandic government takes control of much of the banking sector after a financial crisis.
2008.
Correct. The Tunisian government falls after violent protests. South Sudan becomes independent, and the News of the World appears for the last time.
2011.
Correct. 3.5 minutes ago, 10 points for this. The centre of an Arab kingdom in Roman times and lying around 200 kilometres south of Amman in Jordan. Which UNESCO World Heritage Site?
Sidney, Sussex, Bennett.
Petra.
Petra is correct. Rose Road City. Your bonuses are on the monarchy, Sidney, Sussex. In each case, state what relation each of the following women were to King Edward IV. Firstly, Cicely Neville.
Sister-in-law, I think.
Sister-in-law.
No, that was his mother. Secondly, Margaret Tudor.
Great aunt, I think.
Great aunt.
No, she was granddaughter. And finally, Elizabeth Woodville.
Wife.
Sure. Yeah, sure.
Wife.
Wife is right, yes. Right, 10 points for this. What English past participle translates the French word interdit, the Italian vietato, and the German...
King Sharp.
Forbidden.
Yes, or prohibited, yes. So you get a set of bonuses on elasticity, Kings. Which numerical constant describes the elastic properties of a solid or fluid which is under pressure on all surfaces? It's often represented by either the letter K or the letter B.
It can be both. I don't know. Maybe it's...
Hooks.
No, it's bulk modulus. The reciprocal of the bulk modulus of a substance describes what property of that substance?
Stiffness.
No, it's compressibility. The bulk modulus, Young's modulus, and the shear modulus are all particular expressions of which law, formulated in 1660 and named after an English scientist?
This is Hooke's law.
It is Hooke's law, yes. You say dismissive. 10 points for this. Beating the previous record holder, Delia Smith's How to Cook Book 2, whose 2013 memoir, My Autobiography, became the UK's fastest-selling non-fiction book on record.
King Smith.
Morrissey.
Nope.
Sidney Sussex Thompson.
Alex Ferguson.
Yes. Sidney Sussex, these bonuses are on the United Arab Emirates. Firstly, ruled by the Qawasim dynasty, which emirate takes its name from the Arabic for the Eastern. It's been a regular venue for cricket, hosting its first one-day international in 1984.
Nominate Wilson.
Dofa.
No, it's Sharjah. Secondly, completely surrounded by Sharjah, which emirate is the smallest state of the UAE as well as the poorest?
Astana.
No, it's Ajman. Which emirate has the largest city of the Federation and has benefited greatly from the discovery of the Fateh offshore oil field in 1966? Dubai is correct, but you were after the gong. And at the gong, King's College, Cambridge have 60, Sidney, Sussex have 195. You never really got going, Kings, did you? Well, that's how it crumbles sometimes. But thank you very much for joining us. Sidney, Sussex, congratulations to you. We should look forward to seeing you in round 2. I hope you can join us next time for another first-round match. But until then, it's goodbye from King's College, Cambridge.
Goodbye.
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 It's goodbye from Sidney, Sussex College, Cambridge.
Goodbye.
And it's goodbye from me. Goodbye.